Hello, everyone. This is Kerwin with PassRather.com and CruiserNot2.com, and this is our second in the Learning Culture series. And the idea behind the series is to bring the culture of a country to you, since at the moment you can't visit these amazing countries around the world. So today I have my friend Stephen Hamilton. He's with Eskay Catering. And he's actually stuck in Belgium. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about Jamaica. We'll talk about food in Jamaica. So join me in welcoming Stephen to the show.
Yes, well, thank you, everyone.
Excellent. Good to see you, Stephen. So first, tell us a little bit about Stephen, and then I have a ton of questions for you.
Okay, so Stephen is a very fun-filled individual, very intellectual. I love to cook. I love to travel. I speak very fast at times, and I'm a very sociable person.
That's so, and yes, he really does speak very fast. So tell me, Stephen, and Stephen's from Jamaica, right? So how did you get into cooking? Did you go to cooking school? I mean, did you learn from your family? What happened?
I would say my grandmother and also my mother taught me at a tender age, even at the age of 7, I was able to cook rice and peas and chicken, right?
Wow.
Basically rice and beans and also chicken. It was basically jerk chicken, or I should say fried chicken, at that tender age. So from that time, watching my mother in the kitchen or my grandmother in the kitchen, and I used to help her around and stuff. So from that time until now, I'm able to cook.
Yeah. So you know what's interesting? Just for the audience here, in Jamaica, we a lot of us grew up with our grandparents, and it's a matriarchal society. So we learn a lot of things just by watching our grandparents. My grandmother was a seamstress, and I'm pretty sure I could make a dress or a suit or any type of clothing now without even thinking about it, only because by osmosis I learned it, right? Which I guess is a similar thing to you.
Basically.
Yeah. And he mentioned rice and peas. Now in Jamaica we have rice and peas, but it's not actually what you call peas. It's beans, right? Red beans.
That's correct. Kidney beans.
Kidney beans. So did you after you learned as a kid, how did you get into the catering business? Did you go to like formal training, or how did that work?
All right. It started at basically high school level, right? I was punished basically. I skipped the line at the talk shop and I couldn't wait, and I gave some trouble, and the principal punished me and said I should go into the talk shop on Wednesdays and Thursdays and have to serve food and have to wash up and stuff based on punishment. But it wasn't punishment for me basically. It was basically something fun. And a gentleman before he passed away taught me how to do bulk cooking, because they normally cook on a daily aspect.
Mm-hmm.
For the students in the school. It's over 240 persons every single day, from breakfast and also to lunch to serve to teachers and also students. So I was able to grasp the basic knowledge and helping to wash pots and whole work. So from a tender age at about 15, 16 in high school, right?
Uh-huh.
Learning from that. And then when basically the school have like club activity days, I'll help to go in the kitchen, help to cook, and help to serve. So from that age, I was able basically to maneuver the catering aspect, and then from that until now, I continue the journey.
Oh, neat. So which high school was this, by the way?
That was Arna Extension High School. It's a private school.
I got you. I asked because in Jamaica, the school you go to is a big deal. I went to Kingston College in Kingston, and
Mm-hmm.
an interesting thing was, so I grew up in St. Elizabeth, and,
Yeah.
and I stayed in. I took common interest in St. Elizabeth, but well, actually, I wasn't allowed to because I was too young. I was 1 year too young. But had I taken to St. Elizabeth, I'd have probably ended up going to Monroe as opposed to
Mm-hmm.
going to Casey, because I actually took it when I went to Kingston. But that's just a little historical background of Jamaica. So, but how did Eskay Catering come together?
Okay, came together. After I left high school, I went to sixth form at Quality Academics, right?
Uh-huh.
Leaving Quality Academics, so I attended UTech, that is University of Technology Jamaica, right? The irony of this whole scenario is that no, I didn't do foods at school, everyone. I didn't do no foods. I did hospitality and tourism management, abbreviation HTM, hospitality and tourism management.
Mm-hmm.
We basically just studied the entire aspect of the tourism industry, and I only did 1 semester of cooking, 1 semester, basically 3 months of basic knowledge. But that time frame, I had my prior knowledge from basically from high school, and also YouTube, and basically cooking at home, my parents and stuff. And like whenever they have like trips, like church trips or a group trip, I'm able to cook for them. At that time frame, there was High Five before Facebook, and I
Mm-hmm.
used to post my Sunday meals and stuff, and persons liked it. And then a lady by Miss Vivian Banton, she's still my client today. She contacted me and contacted a wedding planner, and she was my first client. I did my first wedding, right? Like approximately 7 years ago. And I
Yeah.
just did it recently this month on my social media platform for Eskay Caterers. So I shared my first wedding I did, and she was my first literal client for weddings.
Nice.
So during college days, and I finished my college degree, I realized that I want to become a lawyer at once. And I realized that cooking is my passion. I realized when I'm in the kitchen, cooking is like I'm in a different world by itself. Right?
Yeah.
Hearing the pot sizzling, trying tasting different sauces and stuff. It is rewarding. It is very good, right? It's just, for example, when persons smoke, for example, they're in a different world. When persons gamble, they're in a different world. When I cook, I'm in a different world by myself, right?
So that first wedding that you did, I mean, were you scared? I mean, it was somebody's wedding, right?
Yes, that is correct. I was scared, of course. So I reached out for professional help. I asked some of my lecturers to help me. And she helped me guide with the menu and stuff. And I asked friends and family to help me to come together. And for my team, everyone was in jeans and basically we did white shirts on top and thing. And it was of course, I was scared. But eventually, it was a success. For
Good.
success and got great reviews and stuff. And every single year, I acknowledge your anniversary and we keep in contact until this day, 7 years ago.
Oh, nice. So, UTech it used to be CAS, right? College of
That
Arts
is
and
correct,
Technology.
yes. And it changed to University of Technology Jamaica now.
All right. So, just so you know, my mother was a janitor at CAS for years.
Oh,
Yeah.
years.
And as a kid, I used to go up and see her all the time, and I'd run up and down the building department. It's probably looks so different now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she used to be in charge of one whole floor. So, small world, isn't it?
Yeah, small world. And then, except from academic thing at UTech, I used to play rugby, right?
Uh-huh.
We play rugby at UTech, and they normally had a different caterer, and the caterer normally late at times, or basically the food is not up to quality. And the coach said to me, said, Stephen, cook some food one day and carry come to training. I did it, and they liked the food. So basically, I applied officially and to be the caterer, but I said no because I must be a resident, should say a registered caterer with the government,
Oh,
right?
okay.
Registered companies. Okay. So I basically build my platform and stuff and the voluntary work and stuff, then I registered it. My last basically year at UTEP, basically I applied to be the official caterer for the rugby team, and I got through to be the caterer,
Yes.
right? So doing that now, leaving UTEC, I decided, you know what, I'm going to follow my dream. And there was a course at UTEC, FSM, Food Service Management. I didn't pay for that course, not at all, because a different degree. But on certain days, there was a class outside. The downstairs, there was a class keeping. So I used to go to the window and literally peek through the window and see what's happening in the class. And I have some friends that give me their assignment to do, and I do the assignment and stuff, and I learn from that. And that lecturer was Miss Simone Barrett, Walker Barrett,
Mm-hmm.
and she's what my should say, my motivator should say right now, my mentor should say to this day, and we still support each other. She have an event, I support her, vice versa to this day. And I decided that I'm going to start my business. I'm going to start my business and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I'm to do it. And then I realized, okay, I love to travel. So I've been to Cuba during my years of college and also to high school. And my name I got was Eskay in terms of I got Esteban. Esteban in Espanol,
Mm-hmm.
meaning Stephen, my first name, right? S is for Stephen, my first name. K is for Kingston, born and grow. A is for Augustus, my middle name, meaning ruler and empire. And Y is for youth. Because when I started my business, all young persons starting. So it's called Eskay Catering by Stephen Hamilton. Basically, my name, where I live, my middle name, and the basically youth taking over the culinary industry. That's how Eskay Catering formed. But once registered, I started to move forward, and then I was featured on Nyamin's Culinary Show, right? Nyamin's Culinary Show is a show that basically showcases Jamaican cuisine to the wider Caribbean public and also local in Jamaica, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
I worked at a prominent hotel, and I retired. I retired, I should say I resigned,
Oh,
right?
okay.
Reason being, there was an ultimatum. Either I stayed at a place and pushed the company, or I pushed my dream. I told the HR management that I had a function called Kingston Kitchen to showcase Eskay Catering work my first time out to the public as a caterer. And the HR management should say that if I go to that event, I should basically take in my chef jacket and basically quit,
Yeah.
or I should be away fired. So I said, okay, not a problem. So I decided to quit and follow my dreams. So I put on my chef jacket every single day the same way and go out on the road, going office by office, trying to offer this business. And it was very, very difficult. Several no's I got all over the year for the past about 6 months, 7 months, right? I couldn't cope with it anymore because financially I didn't have any more money. The money that I saved up during the hotel was finished. My mother was asking me for income now to help to pay bills, and I couldn't manage. So I literally had to tell her the truth. Say, Mom, I quit this job to follow my dreams. And of course, my mother believed my dreams, said, okay, I will help you. And she had me push the business, call her church friends, our family, everyone, and then push the business. After which, I was featured on a culinary show. I saw it on television. After I was featured, several persons loved the review. A company called Linstead Market Jamaica sponsored that TV show. And they say they loved how I utilized ackee. I did a spiced coconut ackee sauce using
Wow.
ackee itself, right? So they asked me to enter a competition in Linstead. It's an ackee festival. Everything is in ackee, ackee bread, everything in ackee. And I won the competition. There's a cook-off competition, and I won. For basically the first competition I entered, and I won the entire
Nice.
competition with the sauce. And from that, I gained viewership. I started more on High Five. High Five ended, then also Facebook. I started to basically push the business and stuff, and then started to push marketing very, very hard. And I got my first basically job at King's House through Mr. Ian Boyne. This is Mr. Ian Boyne, and this is book launch at King's House. And from that day until now, that pushed the business, and no one Eskay Catering in all these weddings, corporate functions, consultations, you name it.
Wow, that's impressive. And thank you for that story, because I sat here and I go, it wasn't easy, but
It wasn't easy.
no, but you had the drive, and you were so passionate telling that story. So thank you for doing that. I hope the young people watching will be very inspired by what you had to say.
Yes, no
Uh,
problem.
So that was good. So you studied some aspect of tourism. How do you work with the tourism industry in Jamaica?
Okay, I'm within the tourism industry in Jamaica, and of course, the weddings are part of it, right? And the wedding is my first function I did. So of course, that within the tourism industry, in terms of link with wedding planners that basically sell Jamaica as a destination. So that part
Okay.
of tourism. So working along with wedding planners, of course, I will get events and consultation and you name it. So working along with wedding planners and also market myself as a caterer within the Caribbean region to choose the best caterer and why to choose Eskay Catering. I did a long listing the other day and posted on my social media page why you should choose Eskay Catering. So working within the tourism industry, trying to promote Jamaica as an island, not because of sea only, or I should say sport, but also because of the culinary aspect of Jamaica.
Excellent. So then, if someone is getting married and they want to do a destination wedding in Jamaica, would they contact you personally, or do they contact the wedding planner and the wedding planner contact you? How does that work?
Okay, they can do both. They can contact me by myself, right? They can contact by Instagram or email or Facebook or WhatsApp,
Mm-hmm.
right? My company, and we can opt by that self. Or you can go to a wedding planner, do all the planning, and then the wedding planner contact my company. So anyone.
Oh, okay.
Brides normally follow me on Instagram. So they normally contact me via DM message or via email. And basically, I send all information to them, and we engage in a contract, and then we move forward. Or they go to a wedding planner, to
All
anyone
right.
of their choice.
Perfect. And what I'll do, I'll put some contact information so people know how to get in, how to get. Well, actually, go ahead and say what your handles are in case people are listening to this and they can get it. So tell me what the
Okay,
Instagram and
handles
Facebook are.
at Eskay Caterers, that's Eskay Caterers, Caterers. That at Eskay Caterers, right, on Twitter, on Instagram, and also on Facebook. And for the email address is skcaterers, that's Eskay Caterers, Eskay Caterers at yahoo.com. And of course, my contact number is 873-3466. That is 873-3466. And of course, you put the area code before 876.
All right, perfect. So, so people coming to Jamaica, what is it? What is one or maybe two things that they should definitely try in terms of food before they leave?
If it's the first time coming to Jamaica, of course, Jamaica is known for its jerk. Of course, ask for a jerk chicken in terms of a different way. If you're going authentic way, of course, you can do the traditional type jerk chicken and stuff, right? If not, you can try a managed water. Of course, as a soup, or managed water is great, or rice and peas is great, or a jerk chicken, right? Or red stripe beer. And of course, use your red stripe beer and infuse in the food. So if you're a vegetarian, we have various items you can choose from. Chicken, fish, pork, and any way you want it, it can be done. But basically, two main items, jerk chicken, red stripe beer. Of course, choose Jamaica as your destination.
All right, perfect. So tell me something. You mentioned managed water. Most people don't know what managed water is. So tell the audience what is managed water.
Okay, managed water is basically from the goat, right? It's basically the head of the goat and also the intestines of the goat. It's basically cut up in small pieces, add with green banana, add with pimento, thyme, scotch bonnet, right? And natural seasoning as well. And come together to a boil, and then add, should say, more starches like some yam, some potatoes, some dasheen to give it body, and also come to a boil and then serve.
All right, so can you tell the story behind managed water?
No, you know, to be honest, I don't know the story.
So this is a G-rated show. So, but supposedly managed water, when you drink it, it makes you more potent. So that's
correct. Yeah.
And that's the reason that come up the idea of managed water. And so it sounds, you know, when you put like a goat head and goat tripe in it, or goat intestines, for people who don't understand what tripe is, it sounds quote unquote not so good, but it is very, very good.
Very good, especially if you have the scotch bonnet.
Exactly, and you don't have to eat the stuff that you don't want to eat. If you just drink the soup, it's just as good.
That's correct.
Oh, that's super fun. So what Stephen's going to do today, and we're going to show the video after, is he's going to show you how to make, what was it, plantains, fried.
Yeah, plantain tostone.
So just go through the process in that, and what I'll put the video in the background while you're talking through it.
Okay. Start the process.
Yeah, so like what do you need? How do you know how do you know to get the right green plantains? I mean, that kind of stuff.
All right. So first, of course, the ingredients are 1, cooking oil, 2, salt, 3, green plantain, right? And of course, for example, here the green plantain.
Exactly.
Right. So once you basically choose a green plantain, you look on the density of the plantain and also the size of the plantain here, right? So once you have the green plantain, you basically cut the top part here and also the bottom part here, and you peel it. And then cut it into coins based on the video, right? Once you cut it into coins, you add the plantain into salt water. Reason why you add the plantain into salt water is to prevent the plantain getting black, right? So add the salt to water approximately about 2 to 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
After you cut it into coins, right, you drain it in terms of putting on a napkin, or should say a paper towel or something to absorb the liquid, should say the water. And then over high heat, you add, of course, some cooking oil and allow it to get hot. You basically use any bowl or roller pin, and basically, after you fry the plantain, you crush the plantain, right? After you crush the plantain, you take it out, of course, and of course, refry the plantain. After you refry the plantain, just add some salt, and that is it. Something simple. I'm doing some pressed green plantains, and basically I'm frying the plantain now. Take it out and crush it. I put salt on it and refry it. So these are the green plantain right now frying. We are doing some fried pressed green plantain. So we have some pre-fried plantain here. Crush it to the bowl, right, and add it to the plate.
Nothing hard. Adding the pressed plantain to the pot. The plantain basically float on top. And allow to fry. So when it's finished fried, you basically add some salt to it, nothing hard, and serve the pressed fried green plantain. Pressed fried green plantain and extremely crispy. You hear here? Crispy.
Excellent. So how do you eat that? Do you eat it with something or by itself?
Okay, it can be eaten by itself like a chips. It can be eaten with like a salsa, or normally eat with like ackee, or it's normally eat with a saltfish. Picked up saltfish basically codfish with onion, sweet pepper, tomato, and a little bit of Scotch bonnet pepper. The codfish is boiled before, then drain off, and then salted with natural seasoning, and then serve on top of it as basically it's like a tosto, a small bite.
Yeah, nice. So
Like a finger food.
you've mentioned ackee a few times. Just explain to people, what is ackee?
Okay. Ackee is basically a fruit, basically, right? It's a national fruit here. So it's a ackee basically, and it comes in a pod. When you open the pod, you have a seed. The seed is basically poisonous. So you take out the seed, and in part of the ackee, the yellow part basically is considered the fruit itself, and it should be boiled first, strained off, and then can be cooked. It's very easy to cook, and it's easy to absorb any flavor basically. And of course, the national dish, ackee and saltfish. So the codfish go with the ackee.
Exactly. Now, ackee and saltfish is something that almost every Jamaican eat, and but it's kind of soft, and in Jamaica we'd say pian pian.
Butter ackee.
Butter
Yes.
ackee, right?
Yes.
But it's really soft, and it tastes really good, but it is an acquired taste. So when you go and you try it, if you don't like it, don't feel bad that you don't like it, because not everyone likes it.
Yes.
And I know in other parts of the Caribbean, it's called a different name. It's not ackee. Trying to think.
There are
of it.
various names. Some persons say that it's a poisonous fruit and those stuff, right? But of course, we know how to cook it to prevent it not poisonous.
Yeah. So the thing is that always make sure somebody knows how to cook it for you. And in Jamaica, anyone who's serving it knows how to cook it. But if you're going to cook it yourself, make sure you follow all the procedures to do it. You don't want to get sick if you don't cook it properly.
That's correct.
Yeah. So Stephen, thank you so much for this. And so I'm talking to Stephen in Belgium right now. He's stuck there because of COVID. So tell us what happened. I mean, how come you're stuck in Belgium?
Okay, then. So my birthday was on March the 15th, right? So I decided that, okay, it's my birthday month coming up, and I want to do a Europe tour for my birthday. And of course, Corinne, I contacted you to ask for your information and stuff and your advice. Of course, you guided me accordingly.
Thank you.
So I decided, okay, I'm going to book my trip. So basically, it was basically Paris, Italy, Spain, Ibiza, Belgium, and Greece, all booked. And unfortunately, due to COVID-19, the other legs were canceled. So I went to Greece. When I reached, I should say in Greece, they have to leave the island because basically the island is closing down. So I had to take the first flight out back to Belgium. Waiting for my flight approximately 3 days. The flight canceled due to one, the borders of Jamaica were closed. Secondly, the borders of Belgium were closed. So I'm here from the 17th of March until this day. And of course, I make my time occupied, of course, cooking and touring the Belgium city.
Excellent. Now, I've been watching Stephen online, and he's cooking every day and showing you taste of because you're in Brussels. Is that where you are?
Yes, I'm in Brussels at the moment.
Yeah. So it is kind of good to see you explore in Brussels, because there's like nobody around. And some of the places that you're showing, I was just in Brussels in January at the beginning of the year, and it's packed. So it's quite different. So what do you think of Brussels? Is it your first time?
Yeah, it's my first time here in Europe overall, and also say Belgium. It's very cold for personally not used to the weather, but it's very beautiful, right?
Okay.
The building designs, the food to me, of course, could be better. So for me, I went to the Caribbean store to find some authentic Caribbean items, or plantains, or yam and those stuff, and cook to my desire. But the food here is okay. It can be better. And the overall aspect, I should say the overall atmosphere here, it is breathtaking. Something like you see in magazines or the movies, something wow to experience.
Very good. So one thing you'll find with Jamaicans, when we travel, the food is never good enough. That's just how we are. So you're able to find Caribbean food places in Brussels, like places to go?
Basically in the Indian stores, you can find, like, for example, I got the Maggi seasoning. We got Maggi seasoning. We got like the Grace cock soups and stuff. I'll get certain Caribbean items. But for example, like thyme and natural herbs are very expensive here.
Okay.
Right? So at times we just ginger, garlic, and we always safe with ginger and garlic, and of course onion. So you're normally safe with those, and you just basically cook with those.
All right, cool. So when do you think you'll be able to head home? I think the borders are still closed to both countries, right?
That is correct. I am awaiting for land approval from the Jamaican government. I've applied online before, right? And so I am awaiting for approval, basically. Applied via email, waiting no answer, and then applied online on an online platform, should say, and I'm waiting for approval right now.
Well, good luck. And then you're going to have to be in quarantine when you get home, right?
That is correct, 14 days.
Oh, wow. So what do you see Eskay Catering, where are you going to take the business in the future?
Taking my business to the future is something that I always think about every other day. And of course, I realize the COVID-19 situation now, everything is postponed or canceled. Mm-hmm. So what I've been doing so far has been offering special catering specials, so brides, or I should say other event coordinators can save on. I'm trying to do like recipe development meanwhile, like consultation, person planning to open a restaurant in the future. So I'm mostly focusing now on consultation, which is basically a virtual aspect of Eskay Catering, more marketing, and I don't really see a Caribbean place right here in Brussels, mostly Italian, Dutch restaurant and stuff. So something to think about maybe in the future. Why not an Eskay outlet here or something? So I'm thinking about that. I've walked around, check on some shops and stuff, write down some numbers. So in the future, hopefully I can call and find the prices to rent like a store here or something. Mm-hmm. But moving forward, I'm planning to take over the entire wedding industry in the Caribbean, try my best for the world. That's my dream. To let the person experience the culture through food. Of course, Jamaican cuisine is the best. So something different, something to wow everyone's palate, and with Eskay Catering in the future.
Very good, Stephen. Thank you so much. And I love those dreams, because every time people go somewhere, food is tantamount. So that's very good. And I guess if someone wants to plan their wedding, please get in touch with Stephen. I'll display all the contact information here. And Stephen, just run through the contact information one more time for me.
Okay, for the social media platforms, at Eskay Caterers, ESKAY CATERERS, at Eskay Caterers on Instagram, on Facebook, and also on Twitter. Email address, Eskay Caterers, ESKAY CATERERS, skcaterers@yahoo.com. Contact number 876-873-3466.
Stephen, thank you. You're such the master marketer. That's well done. It's like you practiced that this morning.
Hey, never practice. If I realize on my hand here, Curry, you remember this tattoo?
Oh,
this
yeah.
This is Eskay. So it's what I eat, sleep, and breathe, and it's also tattooed on my hand. It's something that it's my dream, and I'm living my dream right now. Basically, showcasing food through culinary food, just about everything. All right, Jamaican cuisine is the best, and I want to showcase to the world that listen to me, Jamaica is the best destination to choose.
Stephen, thank you so much, man. That's a
You're
really good
welcome.
message. I appreciate it. And as they say in Jamaica, walk good.
Well, good.